Welcome to the podcast, The Coaches Next Door. And I sometimes don't have ideas. That also happens to me, okay? And so I decided yesterday to ask to my children what I should be talking about. And I got some ideas. And I got ideas of talking about my white hair. I talk about, I had the idea also of one of my girls to talk about how boring I am sometimes. Better not to go there. But one of my girls said to me, "Mom, why you don't talk about children growing up? And why you don't talk about how that sometimes is difficult for parents to let us grow up?" I must confess that I was, first of all, a little bit like, what you want to tell me? But then I realized that, yes, that is a very important topic. Why? Because not only I feel it, but I also see a lot of people facing this challenge. And we face this challenge not only with our children, but also a lot of times with our teams. And this is a topic that can really be related and transversal to how we deal with people growing up. How do we deal with people not needing us anymore? How that really makes us feel, how that impacts the dynamic of the relationship, and what needs to change in that relationship. So this comment of my daughter made me really realize, and I was looking to the three of them and I was like, yes, you are all growing up. And I honestly hope that they don't need me one of these days. I know that probably will not be fully the truth, because if I think about myself and my parents, I sometimes still need them in the sense that I go to look for an advice or I'm going to look for some sharing moments. But yes, I don't need them to take my own decisions. I don't need them to take care of me. So I looked at them and I was realizing like, okay, what exactly each one of them needs from me right now. So, and I realized that one of my daughters that is now at 16, some things she just really doesn't need me anymore. And yes, it's uncomfortable because, so what is my role right here, right now? Is, I don't know, just pay some things for you, or is just to be here as your friend right now? And I think this transition between when you are a parent or when I am a parent and I change that role to become a friend, to become someone that you can rely on, that is a big, big shift. And it's not an easy one because we are so used to tell and to help them in the sense of what is right, what is wrong, what are the rules of us relating with each other, what is the rules of you relating with the world as well, what I like, what I don't like as a mom. And I realized that all that is not needed anymore. She doesn't need me to tell her anymore, this is right or this is wrong, because she already gets her own sense of what is right and what is wrong. She also has right now a very personal way of dealing with the world and dealing with whatever happens in this world. So the question is, okay, what do you need from me right now? And I think sometimes we don't ask this to people. We don't ask this to our kids. We don't ask this to our friends. We don't ask this to our team. What do you need from me right now? What is the moment that you are, and what do you need from me? Because I think honestly that we are scared that someone says, I don't need you for anything. So just be there, I don't need you, because we have this urgency of being needed. We are so used to being this performance that, okay, if I'm not needed, what I'm doing here. And then we go to the situation that, okay, but I want you here, but I don't need you. I want you here. And that sometimes is hard, because we don't know. I sometimes don't know what that means, to just be there, like, oh, okay, so I don't need to put my hat of doing stuff for you, but I just can be me and do me. Like, sometimes that is really hard, because we sometimes don't spend time enough to think about, who am I if I'm not doing anything, And I think when you are, in my case, as a mom, if I'm not doing anything, what type of mom I am? If I'm not cooking for you, if I'm not doing stuff around the house for you or taking care of you, who am I as a mom? What type of person I want to be with you? This is the type of things that I think is really relevant for us to realize. And in my case, because I have 3 kids in very different ages, so that means that for one of my kids, I'm not a need anymore, or most part of the times I'm not needed, but I'm still needed for the youngest ones. And that also brings a new layer that is like, why are you doing this for me and you don't allow me to do this? And for her, you don't tell her anything. And it's like, yeah, because that is not what she needs from me right now. So even with my kids, my youngest kids, I'm explaining to them and showing them that my relationship with their older sister is not the same. And this is something that I also think that applies when we are talking about leadership, is that a lot of times I see leaders trying to have the same type of relationship with everyone. Like, I'm giving to all of you the same things. And this is not going to work very well because, again, people need different things. So this relevance of the type of dynamic that you create in a relationship is not only with one person, but is how that one-to-one relationship is going to change the dynamic between, in this case for us, 4 of us. Yeah, how the change of the way that I relate with my oldest daughter is going to change the dynamic between the 4 of us, and what also she's changing in relationship to our siblings. So yes, children, they grow up, and is one moment that I think we need to look at them and saying, oh, wow, you are not a child anymore. You are not even a teenager anymore, So you are in the path of becoming an adult. And I think this awareness can avoid a lot a lot of conflicts. One of these days, I had someone saying to me that she has a daughter, that she's 27, and she doesn't want to do anything around the house, even if she works already and she has, seems like already a life for herself, but she still lives with her parents and she doesn't want to do anything in the house. And what I was saying to this mother is that you need to stop being her mother, and she said, how do I do that? And I said, yeah, it's looking to your daughter, and she's not a child anymore. So you need to step in a relationship that is not mother-child anymore, but is two adults having a conversation. It's two adults taking care of the house. It's two adults relating. So that is a very different type of relationship. And I think when we put this also in leadership, I think that is also very relevant. It's like, are we having a relationship that is parent-child relationship, even when we are in a professional environment, or are we aiming for an adult-adult relationship? And I'm not saying that this is from one day to another, but someone needs to take the decision of making this the relationship in the frame of two adults having a relationship. And this means that we are taking responsibility for ourselves, that we are sharing more than educating, and means that we are relating with our own emotions. And we are able and willing to deal with our own emotions and sharing those emotions. And this is what is, let's say, required when we want to progress in the relationships, when we want to really bring the relationship to a level that we are doing things together and not anymore I'm leading this by power, by a power that is given by me being older, knowing better, or even an economic dependency. So when we realize that our children are growing up, we need always, and don't get me wrong, this doesn't happen in a year. Sometimes happens from one day to another. We look and we're like, we are having something different here. And that is the moment that we need to assess, what do you need from me at this time? What do you need from me? What is the relevance of this relationship for both of us? And again, I'm not saying that this is easy, but it's what sometimes people call cutting the umbilical cord. And sometimes we do this when it's a little bit too late, because we are a long time investing and doing a relationship that is hurting everyone. So it happens a lot that when we decide to cut the umbilical cord, I don't know, when the person is 30 years old, it's too late. It's too late. So we need to really see what is going on almost day by day, almost getting curious about this day by day. What is happening? What is the transformations that is happening here? One of the questions that I ask my kids when is their birthday is, it's like maybe 2 weeks before their birthday, I ask them, what do you want to change when a new year comes for you? What do you want to change? And sometimes, I remember particularly the last birthday of one of my kids, she said, I want to do more things alone. I want to start doing this alone and that alone. And I was like, okay. And And I remember even that she asked me, I want to go alone to school. And I said, no, that is not still the time. So, but we can arrange something in between, but it's still not the time for you to go to school alone. And it's a great moment to get this negotiation and saying, okay, this is what maybe is already time for you to do alone, and this is still what I will be your mother. I will tell you what. Still not the time. So I think these open conversations are a great way to avoid something that, when I heard it, really hurt me. I heard a study some time ago that said that 80% of adults don't have a trust relationship with their parents. And I think, this is my speculation, this happens because parents are being parents for too long. That means that is not created the possibility of two adults encounter themselves and saying, okay, what is the relationship? What is the new relationship that we have here? So, and if you continue being a parent for too long, yes, your adult child will not stay, because I don't know, but I don't appreciate when my parents tell me, they don't do that, but if they will tell me, this is what you need to do, this is what you cannot do. I'm sorry, but I'm old enough to know that. And I will appreciate your input, but I will not appreciate your rule. So I think to create a more healthy future, we need to step out of this parenting for too long, and not allowing our kids to grow up and to take their own decisions and to take their own responsibilities and to decide, to take the power of decisions in their own hands. So I don't like to give advices, but my idea for you is that you ask more times to your kids and teenagers, what do you need from me right now? What is the relevance of my presence for you right now, right here? What is that all about? And let them say it and respect that. And respect what they are giving to you. And give that if you want so. If not, negotiate. So I'm willing to give this, but I want still to do that. Negotiate. That is a beautiful learning for the future, also for them. Thank you. Thank you for listening. The Coach is Next Door. And follow up. We have new episodes coming in. And every month you have a new episode that you can listen to. And remember, you can always share these episodes with someone that you think that could be a benefit or could feel a benefit from these episodes. And we will really like to receive also your comments and your questions. And if you want me to talk about something in particular that will fit you or your needs or your curiosities, please reach out by email, by a message, by a comment. I'm pretty sure you will find your way. Thank you so much, and we hear each other. Take care.